right, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Thank you for watching it real time as a Patreon patron or as a YouTube subscriber or as someone who is considerate enough to link their Amazon Prime account to their Twitch Prime account. And by the way, those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. You can contribute on Patreon or YouTube subscribe, plus link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch. Instructions are in the show description. Please do that. That is simple, and we get paid. It costs nothing. It costs Amazon something, and they don't care. Today's question from SIFTD from Matt Baxter. How do platform holders decide what they will allow on their platform? What a good question. Nintendo used to be strict. Now it lets anything pass through. Probably not anything. Sony has allowed a lot of bad mobile games on the PlayStation Store. Is more always better, or is curation a smarter approach? You know, the limitation used to be games that they thought were just trash or games that they thought were trashy. So there used to be a company called TDK Interactive, and their claim to fame was they made the first Shrek video game. It was actually quite good. Came out right when the first Shrek movie came out. But their next big video game was Aquaman, and there wasn't an Aquaman movie. It was just based on the DC comic book character, and they had to cancel the game because Sony wouldn't approve it, because it was a piece of trash. Not because there was any nudity or trashy content, because the game was unplayable, and Sony said it went to beta, we looked at it, it's terrible, you can't release this. And to be fair, that's the last time I remember a game that was announced that Sony didn't allow on the platform. Now, when I said they also don't let trashy games on, when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out and had the hot coffee sex scene in it, both Sony and Microsoft booted the game off their stores and wouldn't let the game play until it got an AO rating because it had sexual content. And Take-Two's initial response was, it's not us, it was hackers. I think they remember that Shaggy song, It Wasn't Me, which probably came out after that. But they were like, oh no, it wasn't us, but it was them. And then of course some gaming sleuth found the code and said no, it was locked. And what happened was, the developers, somebody was screwing around, and they put some sex in the game to be funny, and then they locked it. They didn't delete it, they locked it. It's sort of like doing a search for porn. I've only heard about this. I've never done it. Doing a search for porn and then clearing your browsing history. It doesn't mean that it's not still there. So if your search is porn, if somebody types in PO, porn's going to pop up. Because they know you looked for it before, or else they just know what kind of guy you are. So I the hot coffee is the last one I heard, but I think you're right. It's probably a combination of both. Developers making better games, fewer developers for sure, and the PlayStation Store, I think $10 games undergo a lot less scrutiny than $60 games. So I think AAA titles tend to still be pretty good, and really bad games. There was a game that was, I think it was called 50 Cent, but it was about the hip hop artist. And I remember that it got a 50 Metacritic score. There was a game from Majesco, may they rest in peace. It was a horror game. I forgot the name of the game.
Event Rising?
No, right around the same time. But it got a 19 Metacritic score. It's the lowest Metacritic score I've ever seen for a game. Like literally 19. And I was real surprised that it was like a vampire game. Do you kind of remember now? I can look it up. But
Blood Rain?
Yeah, that was them. Yeah, it was Blood Rain. And it got a 19 Metacritic score, maybe a 23, but it got something so low that you didn't even know scores went that low. It was just like you'd think that everybody would just give it a 60 because it was bad, but no, these people were like unplayable. It got a bunch of zeros. It was like the worst game apparently ever. I think that, but it got approved. So that's and that was Majesco, so that was probably 2009 or 10. That's when I kind of realized what your question is asking here. Have the standards just dropped so low that it doesn't matter anymore? And I think that's right. I think unless the game has sexual content or something horribly offensive, racist content, I don't think that they block anything. Another fun thing, if you really want to have fun, go to Metacritic and search the worst movies of all time, and like 3 of them have Adam Sandler in it, which is really funny. So yeah, it's really funny. I actually like Adam Sandler, but he's made some pretty bad movies. Okay, I hope that I think curation. Look, it's always smart to have high quality stuff on the, high quality content on the platform. It makes the experience better for everybody. And you'd almost want to see, and this is, I think, something with Nintendo. Nintendo actually stamps their games with the Nintendo seal of approval. It used to mean something. People used to see that and go, that's a high quality game. I don't. They do stamp everything still with that, don't they? Yeah. So,
it doesn't mean anything.
Right. It doesn't mean anything when it gets bad. So I agree with you. I think that they what do they call it? The horses left the barn. They let that go, and it's gotten bad. What are you gonna do? But I think the real problem is these stores that sell inexpensive games. So when you can buy $10 games, necessarily you're going to get hundreds of them a year as opposed to dozens of AAA games. So it's just easier to curate, and it's really easy to curate a game like Call of Duty or FIFA, because that it's going to be based on kind of the similar game from prior. So they don't have to do as much work with the $10 games they do. And in fairness to Nintendo, there are some games like Golf Story and Stardew Valley that are just great games. So they have plenty of good, inexpensive games. What was that? Fat Princess was hilarious. That was a good game for $10.
There's just like lots of clickers from mobile coming to the console and just trash.
Yeah. That's why we have mobile. We play them for free, and they can be trash.
They're not free on the consoles.
No, for mobile they're free though.
Yeah, and they'll try to charge for them on PlayStation.
I know.
It's weird.
Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Thank you for your patronage on Patreon. Thank you for being a YouTube subscriber, and thank both of you groups for linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, because it's easy, it's free, and we get paid. And for all you slugs out there who have no money, I'm sorry that you don't have any money, and I want you to enjoy some Pack Lovin'. So watch this a week late on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. I swear to God, since I've been doing these, I've done like 600 episodes. I've picked up about 300 Twitter followers. So this is really getting old that I keep asking and hardly anybody follows me. See you next time.